Hello, everyone. In today's topic, we are going to discuss on how customer organizations are thinking about retooling their infrastructure around building modern BI systems that benefits in various aspects on easy access to data, its agility, and intelligent action, and getting faster time to insight. If you set the context for today's discussion, we'll take you through the top trends on the modern BI systems and a point of view on how companies position their data as a competitive differentiator and a value generator. We will also subsequently do a deep dive in a couple of top trends along with Tiger's industrial use cases or our point of view and covering related frameworks that enables to accelerate our path to build a modern BI system. A quick introduction. My name is Riaz, and I'm a technical partner in data engineering practice at Tiger Analytics. I'm based out of Chennai. I'm also joined with Saravanan Kaliyaperumal. He's a principal data architect on the modern BI system, and he's based out of Chennai. Getting into the overview, what does the modern BI gives us? There has been several generations of BI that's going on, starting from its traditional approach to modern needs. We started using a complete IT team that we depended on in order to prepare the data or in order to cleanse the data, etc. We share the data and we create multiple dashboards, but still there was a dependent on creating an enterprise data warehouse, which is mostly limited to schema only level. If you see the new trends that's going on, trends in the sense the latest, the generations of modern BI, there's a quick time to insights. There's a need for users to get a lot of data in quick action and make quick actions, more of a self-service end-to-end platform. The new generations like Hadoop or the big data systems on the cloud provides more of an advanced topics than traditional SQL. You can have a lot of examples like time series, path or graph analysis, and end path analysis to just substantiate on this part. Modern BI systems also saves a lot of cost overall and also reduces the dependencies on the overall overhead on the organizations that has got on infrastructure needs. It's also more dependent on a data-driven organization needs than a traditional approach. So getting into what is the driving force that makes or moves a system into a modern BI system. So there are a number of factors that influences an organization for stepping into modern BI. If you see the business across globally, there's an undergoing continuous changes that happens on the BI. That's mainly driven by the dynamic economy. There's some new customer demands that comes on regularly. There's a sophisticated need to use multiple applications or the latest and greatest applications, connected devices and advanced technologies. So one of the main area is the data democratization, which helps in making data available to easy users across organizations so they don't depend much on IT. There's a BI on the edge, which actually provides you real-time insights to the end users based on the usage data. There's also a need to integrate the BI to provide you a single view of insights to the end users. It's more of a productive insights that gives a deeper insights onto the data. Embedded analytics is another nature of BI needs in the latest trends, where the end users don't have to toggle into multiple applications. There is always a need to explore all the data in a single point of view, or in a single application, so we could say. BI tools are now also more capable of handling a lot of AI loads, which provides an out of the box and can also handle petabytes of data that comes from mostly on the large volume of data handling processes. There's also a need for saving license because BI solutions that are there in place are looking for a straightforward licensing model. So it enables an organization to quickly collaborate and get a TCO and also an easiness to maintenance to reduce the overall overhead. last but the least, there's a lot of companies that are burdened by the legacy BI platforms, and they're not able to deliver the right data on the right time to the right users. There's always a dependency on the infrastructure overhead on running legacy tools. So that's also a main driving factor. So getting onto the top trends in terms of the various latest and greatest that we have in the market. So one is on the BI on the edge. As I said, BI is now embedded onto the edge devices to show real-time insights to the end users based on usage data. There's a day-to-day consumer devices like, various devices like microwave, fridge, lawn mowers, etc., that are getting smarter, and there's a lot of insightful usage on the data on these data. So these data use microservices-driven architecture. So it's like you embed on each of the microservices, either on your iOS or Android devices. There are cases where telematics SDKs app used to collect real-time fleet tracking information. Just an example, vehicle data like location, health, driver performance, and fuel consumptions, etc. So this becomes the BA need on the edge. There are trends on the embedded analytics. As I said, the end users in the customer-facing applications are looking for solutions where all the data comes to them as a single point of source and embedded into one application. So there is no necessity for them to toggle into another application or so. So this also helps them to get more better insights into data, and there's a less dependency on the external factors like IT and other aspects. There's a BI on big data, especially on ways to handle larger volumes of data. I would say petabytes of data. So there's a lot of modern BI tools which has the capacity to handle powerful data, which gives the data insights. So what happens is it gets integrated into the Spark-based engines, so that you get large volumes of data handled and provide a better insights. There are a lot of inputs like mobile devices, desktop computers, financial transactions, sensors, equipments, some of the examples on BI on big data. Geospatial intelligence is another important aspect where it provides users to find better methods to communicate location information, so that it provides geospatial information that are critical and enable factors for the better business intelligence. Various users aspects like agriculture, public safety, healthcare, etc., are used as part of the BI platform on geospatial intelligence. And there's also an automated insights. This is nothing but a data discovery method where an user don't have to be technically strong to understand how this data resides. All the inputs provided can be built as pre-built templates, which provides the automated output through better insights. There's also a packaged and BI part where you have pre-built templates for popular CRM ERP tools. This also gives a jump start to the product users with a lot of pre-built reports, so you don't have to build anything from the scratch. AI to BI shift, last but the least, it's an interactive self-service, mostly BI tools which gets integrated with your NLP or NLG, natural language processor, and also produce analytic output in visual or a narrative basis, in a descriptive basis as well. Tools where you can do similar to like what you do on a Google search. This also provides you an AI load that is out of the box and provide you a better insights on it. So these are the new trends that's happening on the BI. What we'll do is we'll get into a deep dive in a couple of BI trends with some use cases, industrial use cases on Tiger's side. Embedded BI, the overview on embedded BI, as I said, it's nothing but you bring everything into a single platform or a single application layer so that the users don't have to toggle into multiple applications. And the main details around it is that it can be any application. So that's the benefit that you get, commercial or internal applications. You also have the benefit to integrate multiple BI platforms. So there are a lot of organizations who have multiple BI platforms. So the benefit is that they don't have to get into multiple applications. Rather, it has an ability to integrate into a single application. So that's the benefit around it. A lot of technical considerations that has to be thought through or keep in mind to actually do when you do any embedded BI analytics. So embedded BI, as I said, it's a customer facing application. So you have to embed your BI into your customer facing applications through API interfaces. That's the main part of the solution. You also leverage BI tools where there is a seamless licensing model that is available. So which has got an ability to embed your BI solutions onto the application. Also think through solutions which provides you a single sign-on model so that the user don't have to log in into multiple times because the single sign-on provides you an ability to log in once and then forget about toggling into multiple dashboards or reports. You also should think through on the nature of inheriting your authorization from your organization's LDAP methods so that you have the business has the related access, and it's much more secured so that the data doesn't get exposed outside of your organization. BI microservices is one of the key that is latest in the trend, which enables scaling and easy for deployment aspects. A lot of benefits. Some of them are lower TCO, easier adoption to the market. Non-technical users can easily get into the embedded BI. You can strengthen your operational intelligence. And end of the day, it's a better user experience for the end users to actually build quicker insights. That's the benefit on it. Getting on to one of the industrial use cases, which was Tiger's point of view on how we actually build and execute it. This is for a large US third-party company who are involved on logistics. So their main problem was because their overall BI stack was scattered across multiple applications. So they were looking for a unique customer experience solution and also eliminate the data redundancies so that you bring in a single source of truth. So the solution that was provided by Tiger was around building a centralized digital dashboard portal by embedding the BI reports and visuals through API interface. We brought in all the different sort of BI tools. There were multiple tools used by multiple departments. So every department needs were centralized into a single application, which we call it as digital dashboard application. And it was a central tower, we would call. Creating a central tower so that every department, including your agents, IBO, customers, finance needs, and others, get into that application to view their insights so that it comes from a single source of truth. Benefits comes across a unified platform to enable all users to actually bring in a single source of truth. And also there is some better network coverage and agent performance. Getting into the next part on the geospatial BI, this is also a critical one because it provides you a complete usage on your location-based approach. The one that you are looking into talks about the details that is provided by market research that by 2030, you would at least have 200 plus billion market share of geospatial intelligence need across globe. Asia Pacific might be one of the most significant region that will have an expansion on the geospatial BI. Many factors that includes, one is the combination of data across demographies, because it has got the location and geography as the key inputs for it to actually provide a better insights. As I said, market share is going to expand more than $200 billion by 2030. So there's a large market cap on that area. A lot of use cases across agriculture, utilities, real estate, supply chain, etc. I mean, just a few of them, which makes better decision making using geospatial information. The recent 5G network expansion is also creating new opportunities on geospatial analytics vendors. There are pre-built GIS templates on the latest BI tools. So what it does is it already has got that GeoJSON format approach, which has a lot of maps, futures, and coverage services as a pre-built data available. So when you actually pull over those templates, the BI tools provides you the ability to actually bring in the data using API interfaces and JSON services in order to provide you a better insights and a quicker decisions to make on it. Most of the geospatial information is based on the service-oriented architecture, so it's always good to have ready services available on these features. Last but the least, all the data are better integrated with cloud-native databases. So the main reason is in terms of scalability, better cost optimizations, the cost of ownerships is much better, and also better performance reasons in terms of the storage and bringing in the data to the necessity output. There are multiple use cases across industries, but just to highlight some of the things, it has been used across weather, transportation, and logistics, especially to cover on the location and geography, as I highlighted earlier. Real estate, healthcare, financial sectors are some of the other areas, industries which use exponentially a lot of geospatial inputs that's being actually rendered through the modern BI systems. With that, I'll hand it over to Saravanan.
Hi, I'm Saravanan. I'm Principal Data Architect with Tiger. So I have experience both on the traditional and the modern BI platform. So today I'm going to talk about the BI on big data and Tiger's adoption on the modern BI systems. So let's start with the BI and big data part. So okay. So BI in the last, BI has been big data has been the talking point in the last decade. So we have been doing a lot of data processing on the big data side, but there has been very less onus on the BI tool handling the big data part. So in the last few years or so, we have been producing a lot of data, but the BI tool doesn't, or the BI tool has lesser capacity or lesser horsepower to handle the big data part. So now with the modern BI tools, it is able to handle large volumes of data, and it comes with a lot of out-of-the-box functionality to handle the variety of data as well. So until a few years back, there's been a lot of limitation in terms of handling large volume of data, but now the BI tool themselves can handle petabytes of data in terms of processing and in terms of visualization as well. So where we should consider implementing this big data solutions on BI. So the first part is your variety of data source. So right now, if you see, there are a lot of data sources that's coming into play: structured, unstructured, files, relation, other things. So now the BI tools, out of the box, give connectors to various types of data sources. So we don't have to prepare the data for consumption. So the BI tool themselves can handle this wide variety of data and then prepare reports and dashboards on top of it. And in terms of connectivity, so earlier, especially the streaming tool part. So now we have a lot of devices which give streaming data. So earlier the BI tools were not able to handle the large volume of data coming at very high velocity. So now the BI tools are able to handle the big data tools, especially the tools with which are built on Spark-based engine, which can process streaming data. So now the BI tools gives out-of-the-box connectors wherein they can go and connect to this streaming systems and can get visualizations at a very at almost near real time and at very good performance as well. And in terms of handling a live data, so earlier when you want to use data in a BI system, you have to take the data, you have to process it, and then you have to use it. So the modern BI system with a lot of this inbuilt in-memory capability, so it can handle large volume of data. So in the sense that the data can reside in the database itself, and then the BI tool then connect with the data source, and then it can connect in a direct mode or live query mode. So it can access large volume of data. So wherein you have transaction information, so wherein you won't be able to process the data in real time. So what you have to do is you can connect the data in real time, in live and direct query mode to the databases. So that would help in reducing the data processing part, and also it would be able to connect to the data in real time, and then give real time insights into transaction informations. And especially in certain scenarios wherein you have large volume of data and you don't want to put the overhead on the BI system, that's where the virtualization come into play. So now you have proprietary tools which can act as, which are virtualization tools, which can act as a layer between the data and the BI tool. So this virtualization layer can take the load of processing the data. So what it will do is that it will process all the data and keep the data in the the prescribed format for the BI tools to take care of it. So the data would be pre-processed, and the BI tool can interact with a very large volume of data without taking the load on the BI system. So again, this is a trade-off between the BI and the virtualization layer. So in case if there is a need to go in for a higher volume of data and you want to put less stress on the BI system, there the virtualization layer comes into play. And there are a lot of proprietary tools in the market which can take care of this. And in terms of benefits, as we talk now, so the BI tools, with this advancements, so it can connect to various type of data sources seamlessly, and it can connect to streaming systems seamlessly. And with this, you can get faster insights, quicker insights with a high degree of performance. The next one, what we are going to see is a quick case study of a large media house in India. So this is one of the largest media house in India, so which has an online platform. So basically, what we wanted to what is the requirement from customers is to have they want to place an online advertisements in such a way that it makes highest ad revenue. And what input that they had is they had the viewership data, demographic data, and also the data that's coming from social media. So what we have done is that we have built a data lake system. And then in that data lake system, so we have captured the viewership data, demographic data, social media data, and then we use a Spark-based engine to crunch and mine the data and then make the data available for reporting purposes. So now, as we discussed in the previous slide, so the current BI system has a capability to connect to the streaming systems directly. So the data lake solution that we have built, the BI tool can connect to this big data output through the Spark streaming engine, and then that output was rendered in BI. So what this has given is, a deep insight into the viewership, demographic, and the social media data. So all mixed together, it has given the right information, personalized recommendations to the media house to place ads in relevant regions, relevant demography, and create more, probably attract more ads and then create more revenue for them. So this is on the case study part. So we'll go into the Tigers framework. So what you're going to see now is Tigers framework on modern BI. So what we are going to see here is Tiger's adoption of modern BI and how Tiger is keeping pace with the evolution of BI. So what we have is we have a pre-built framework in Tiger. So what this gives is a design dashboard and framework toolkit. So this gives a jump start to any project, okay, that comes to Tiger. So what this framework has is it has a lot of it has a repository which has wireframes, which has templates, in terms of the context templates, technical requirement templates, and then apart from that, it has a lot of technical, templates in terms of code repository, chart recommendations, and various types of visuals that needs to be used for various types of workloads. And for every modern BI need, for example, we have seen a lot of examples earlier. So we have seen embedded BI, we have seen BI in big data, we have seen geospatial solutions. Let's take, for example, let's say a customer comes with, use case of embedded BI solution. So when we get that kind of project, so we use this framework. So what this framework gives is, it gives pre-built wireframes. So this wireframes has a lot of templates, for this embedded BI framework. So it has the wireframes, it has the UI UX design elements, and then it has a code repository. So especially when you take BI embedded example, so here we need to interact with the BI tool with a lot of REST APIs. So what this has is, the code repository already has code snippets, in various platforms, like, it could be React.js, .NET, AngularJS, it could be multiple platforms. So we already have this code repository, and this multiple wireframes. So this gives a jump start, to any project, to start, to start with, basically we can have a jump start from day one. So we don't have to start anything from scratch. So this is on the Tiger dashboard framework and toolkit. So if you see this dashboard and toolkit, so it has all the core ingredients, to start any project, okay, with the modern BI flavor in it. So the next one is the metadata extractor. So why metadata extractor? So if you see, metadata extractor is something which has been there in the traditional BI tools. And then, what is special about this? So in the traditional BI system, if you see, it used to have its own metadata store. So it could be, it's mostly a database or an XML. So whenever we want to look into this metadata information, we can look into database or XML to get this information. But in the modern BI tools, which uses an in-memory platform, the metadata is not exposed to the end user. So in this scenario, it is very difficult, for the developers or the architects to, go deep into the metadata and get this information. So in Tiger, what we have done is, we have just gone a step ahead. And then what we have done is, we have built tools, for the modern BI tools, more than one. For example, Power BI and Tableau. So what we have done is that we are using the REST API framework, so to interact with the metadata of the BI tool. So with this, what we do is that we extract the metadata through the REST APIs, and then we store that metadata in a metadata repository. And then, this information can be distributed to the end user either through reports or files or any other medium. But why it is required? If you see, one of the biggest pain point in modern BI system is data redundancy. So when there is more data, when there is a lot more power to the end user, so there is a tendency to create more and more reports, more and more data sets. So when you see at some point in time, so we end up having a lot of data sets, a lot of reports, a lot of dashboards, but we don't know which one to use. In traditional tools, if you see, you have this metadata information, which is easier to go and take this information. But with the modern BI tools, we don't have it. So here, what we've done is that we have this metadata extractor tool that is built, which would give this information in terms of what are the types of basically this metadata tool. It gives information like what are the source that we have used, what are the data set that we use, what are the tables, what are the columns, what are the type of calculation that we use, what are the measures that we use, and in terms of going one level deeper into the modeling also, how the relationship has been built between multiple tables and other things. So it gives all this information. So once we have this information handy, so here we can use the information in multiple places. One is, in the existing real estate. For example, you have an existing project, and you have so much of data set and reports. So there you can go and analyze and rationalize your reports. That's number one. And when you want to do any reverse engineering, so when you have so much of reports and code base, when you want to do a reverse engineering, so this metadata information becomes quite handy, and it is very useful in doing reverse engineering. And in the current world, if you see, you have various modern BI tools, and you want to do migration one tool to another. So in this scenario, this migration, I mean, this metadata extractor utility is very useful in terms of, extracting the information and then migrate from one tool to another. So, this is an in-house tool built by us. And then this has been very, very useful, and we are already implemented in a couple of customers already. So this has given tremendous savings in terms of time and in terms of dollars as well. This is about the modern BI trends, how Tigers has approached the modern BI, and what we have to offer to the market. Thank you.